What is up, App Nation? Welcome to another Friday YouTube live stream. I am Steve P. Young, founder of appmasters.com, and this is the weekly Friday YouTube live stream that you want to stay tuned for when you're building apps in the mobile space, because we bring on a guest, talk about a particular topic, and more importantly, take a look at your apps to help you grow your downloads and your revenues. Today, we're going to talk all about a very hot topic about no-code app builders, why you should do it, what you actually need, and can you build a sustainable app with just that? Or is it a great way to just start building an app and then show it off to a developer, helping you save some money and better communication with those developers? Joining me today, all the way in Spain, so thank you for doing this for a little bit later, but is Christina Chen. She is the product designer of Bravo Studio. Go check out that website and platform, bravostudio.app. Christina, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
We had a little bit of technical difficulties before we got started, but Christina, thank you for bearing with me. It was all camera issues on my end. Let's talk about why a no-code app builder. Why should we get started with that versus just talking to a developer and writing out our specs and just talking to them and getting it going?
Yeah, I think no code, especially for mobile apps, it's quite a new topic still. People are very used to the idea of website builders. You know, when you think about let me build my own website, you don't think to go to a front end developer. No, you go to all these Wix, WordPress, Webflow, and that's your initial thoughts. Well, basically, no code app building is when it's right now where app site builder was, I would say 15 years ago when WordPress and Wix are just starting. So right now, this is a very hot question. Why no code instead of hiring my own developers? Well, that would be essentially the same question that you ask about for websites. Why no code instead of hiring your developers? Because, well, basically for the same reason. So one, it saves development time. So development time for traditional way of building, you need to build your front end, you need to build your back end, depending, especially for mobile apps, you might want to release on Android, you want to release on iOS, and all of that takes from scratch a lot of time. You're expecting 6 months to be fast and up to a year, or maybe even more, depending on how complex you want your MVP or your app idea to be. And then by then, maybe your market opportunity has already passed. So when with no-code builders, you can save all that time, and then you get more time to user test and to validate the idea, which is, I would say, more important than, of course, the product is important, but validation is very important when it comes to launching your idea, whether it's for a business or whether it's for personal projects.
Completely agree.
And then,
yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No. I
I
was just gonna say, yeah.
I was gonna blab on. So time is one of the things. There are so many reasons, but I'll stick with the main reasons. So time, and also if you want to be the person, you want to be jack of all trades and really control your own app development. Well, then you don't need to go through years of investment of learning how to code before you can build your first app. You can do it yourself with these no-code app builders. So, and then that leads on to the second reason, which goes along, which is money and resources. So to hire developers, you're talking tens of thousands to even get your MVP off the platform, and that's a lot of money that you're spending even before you can raise capital, if that's what you want to do. So that prevents a lot of ideas never starting in the first place, because the majority of your resources goes to development rather than other aspects of the ecosystem where this app exists. Because often we think of, okay, I want to build an app for my idea, but then we don't think about the whole ecosystem, the logistics, the marketing, the branding, everything else that where the app functions. And I would say the last reason, or a main reason, is it's intimidating. It's unknown territory for non-tech people. So often the people that have the ideas, they're not often people with tech backgrounds. So they don't know how to even approach hiring devs. How do I know if these devs are good or if they're bad? How do I know if the code is good or bad? And no code app builders tend to standardize these things, especially for features that are quite common, like login, comments, likes,
Mhm.
display data, etc.
Yeah, there's a
So
lot.
I would say, if anything, no code building, no code app builder is a great way to get you introduced to the app building process, especially if your whatever your idea or your business idea is, where the app takes a major part of it. You need to learn about app frameworks and all of that to start with.
One of the things I want to get into, and there's a couple of comments in here already. So, hi to everybody. What's up, Ricardo? Some sup, grow. Adrian from Celtic. Super excited for this. I just started learning Adalo. What would you recommend as the best no code software? The Rassi is here. Should be an interesting topic. Afternoon record scanner. So Patrick was saying, and then record scanner said the same thing. He's pretty skeptical that an interesting app could actually be built entirely with a no code tool. What do you say to that, Christina?
Uh, I think it's right now I could see how people can be skeptical because the no code niche is still very much a niche. So every app, no code app builder has their own approach of how you can build a mobile app. So, and they vary in capabilities and limitations. So it really depends on, rather than thinking, I would say the approach of, can this builder build an interesting app? You start from an idea. What is your app idea? What is your interesting app idea? And then you look at the requirements of what it needs, and then you look at the app builders that have these functionalities and or don't. So you rule those out, and then you go through the ones that would provide these functionalities. And then in terms of maybe scalability, which relates to this question, uh, no code app, like I said before, depending on your app idea, it could be the end tool to support your app, but it could also just be a very good tool to build your MVP. And then once you validate, once you really get this idea off the ground and you have the resources to hire a developer and really make it custom, really make it your own,
Yeah.
then go for it. Then go for the traditional development.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing too. Record Scanner said he's skeptical too, but a good choice to quickly and most cheaply validate the idea. So it might not be for someone like Patrick, who's been developing software for 20 plus years, and you know how to do it, Patrick, but it might be for somebody who might like be me or a business marketing guy, designer in Bravo's case, who can put some designs together and really test it. And I think a lot of times when I see people put these apps together, like the early versions, there's a lot of mistakes that they can avoid. So, like you said, Christina, just something to validate it, get it out there, especially if it's something that you're going to need funding for. This is a way more affordable solution because sometimes I hear ideas like, we get funding for this because this is an idea that's going to take money to really get going, like a social network type of thing. And so you kind of need to validate certain things, usability, certain issues in there. For Bravo, do you guys try to target, like, I know it really integrates well with Figma, more of the designers who want to build an app?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So for Bravo, what we do, so like I was saying, that each app builder sort of have their own focus or
Yeah.
their own approach to no-code app building. So for us, we are a design-focused app builder. Who we are best suited for are people who probably have a bit of technical background, understand the app building framework, but they are also focused on design. So they will not settle for templates or drag and drop or an editor with limited customization. They want to take exactly the design that they want, designed on, or that their digital designers have designed, and then make that into their own app.
Mm.
And so what we do is we are compatible with Figma and Adobe XD. So you have full control of the user interface and really in the end, also the user experience, because you can connect whichever screen to whichever screen.
Yeah, I like it. So do most of the people that come in and use Bravo, are they have an idea, they have a designer, maybe it's a business person, so I'm assuming me, all right, like a marketing person like myself, and hey, I've got a designer, I've got some of the elements already, let's put it into Bravo, let's test out some functionality, and let's get it out into the marketplace. Is that how most people do it?
Yeah, I would say so. I would say that's the
Mhm.
best approach to it. Another aspect of Bravo, which is another, I would say, key unique point about Bravo is the flexibility, not just in the front end where you can connect Figma and XD files, but also in the back end. So we don't have our CMS that you put data in. You choose the backend that you want to connect to your app. And so this is especially convenient for people that already have their own CMS or database or website, and that if that has an API, or if it's custom developed and they can connect, their developers can create an API, and then you can just plug it into Bravo, and you can plug your own backend to your own front end.
To show this off a little bit for you guys who are interested in checking out Bravo. There's a lot of different types of apps. I see like a to-do type of listing, my subscriptions type of page where I manage all your subscriptions. So it's more for a small business, like a cafe. So there you can see some of the apps that were built with Bravo if you want to check it out as well. Split and Tip. It's pretty interesting. E-commerce type of store. I like that. Okay. So the next thing I want to get into, Christina, is all right, I've got an idea. Should we start with the designs? What do we need to start going off when we're thinking about using a no-code app builder? Is an idea enough?
Yes. Idea, I would say, like I mentioned before, an idea is the first thing that you should have, and then list out the requirements of your ideas. What sort of must have, what are the functionalities that are must have, good to have, nice to have, and then you look at the no-code app builders, because I believe some, I think, like I said, each one builds in their own unique way. Some starts with the functionalities, and then you put some design and colors over it. Others start with maybe start with a template, and
Mhm.
then but each drag and drop has the functionality already embedded in each block. And for Bravo, it's you do start with the design file first. So basically what you do is you have a design file, and there's a bit of setup needed before you can create an app project. So which is more or less in very short summary, that you need to section off boxes of each app screen,
Mm.
and then put a label on it. And then that way, Bravo can know how to transform your layers, your design file layers, into native app components. And then when you have created an app project with this design file, you technically already have a native app, but it's still quite shallow. So so then we go into the backend when we use our data collections, where you can connect to APIs and add a backend for functionalities, for interactivities, for dynamic data.
Yeah. I wanted to show off this app real quick. Let me pull it up. All right. Look at this today. Beautiful designs. I think, you can see that people are using the designs. So, hey, I'm going to add a task, live stream with Christina. We got about an
Yeah, you can
hour.
go crazy with around the corner with the shadows.
Yeah, it looks really good.
This is
Emoji. All right. Party time. All right. Create task. What is this? So
there we
meet with
go.
Bravo.
You can check it off when we're done with the live stream today.
Yes. Say hi. Answer SK's question. We got that. SK. So really cool stuff here. Simple. You can get it done. And then you can start validating on that with the easy design. Okay. Let's see. Check it off. I think it's okay. We're all done. So we did all. So really, I like the design of this. All right. SK, let me get into his question. Says, should you hire a service like UserTesting to do some of the initial feedback?
Yeah, so right now, Bravo itself does not have an integrated user testing functionality. So yeah, I would say once you have your app created or parts of your app created and you want to already get started with the user testing, some ways to do it is so we have a previewer called Bravo Vision, which I will show later on how it works. And this you can share with your test users for them to essentially, it's exactly how your app will work um, in the App Store. So you can have them test right away, and then just use either comments, and then use whatever user testing tools that you would like to use.
Yeah. And personally, there's a couple of ways I like to do it. SK, one, if you got family and friends and you're able to see them during this crazy times, just show them the app, right? A lot of times when I'm looking at today, there are things where I could be like, all right, go ahead and create a task and let them do it, right? Like give them your phone and let them do it and see where they poke around. Cause then you can see what I'm doing
Yeah,
here. And then
exactly.
am I
Like this is
scrolling?
user testing of this app right here.
Right. And
I can see the places where you're a bit hesitant, where you're like, where you press double, like, is that supposed to work that way? So I
right.
can
You
already
saw
see that.
all that. And I think too many times, Christina, people are like, hey, here's my new app. Christina, check it out. Here's how you add a task. And they don't even give me the phone. Give me the phone so that you can actually see what I'm going to be. Am I scrolling? Am I swiping? Am I scrolling up? And versus just, yeah, like showing it off for me because you know how it works. I don't know how it works and get that initial feedback. And I think for me, when I was building this was like a few years ago, one of my apps, I got to really get a sense of emotion. So when I was showing off a feature, it was like, oh, that's cool. That's cool. And then you're like, whoa, that's cool. And when you see
Mhm.
that, you're like, okay, that's a feature that seems to be interesting for people. Like one of my camera app that I built way back in the day, if you shake it, it just flips it from selfie mode to like the other mode. And people were like, whoa, that's cool. And so that was like more gesture-based camera app that I built, but that was the feature that people seem to be like, that's cool type of feature. And you get that feedback too when you're doing stuff like that. So yeah, I would definitely do that if you could. All right, I want to say hi to Patrick. What's up, Patrick? Joe, you're a little bit late, but good to see you here. And then Patrick says, I definitely see them as a good way to build something like an interactive wireframe where a person can interact with the wireframe rather than just slide. And that's a great thing too. So what I mean, versus like InVision, I get this is for you, Christina, it would be like, hey, you can actually publish this. You can have people download it. You can have real users versus just sending an InVision website.
Yeah, and compared to, I would say, a prototype, exactly, there's a lot more interactivity that you can create with these no-code app builders with Bravo, and and with Bravo especially because we create native app files from
Mm,
your project in iOS or Android. It also leverages a lot more device capabilities than a prototype because, for example, you can send sample push notifications. You can trigger the phone, you can trigger the email, and you can trigger the camera. So definitely a lot more interactivity.
yeah. And I think for simple apps like some of the apps that we're going to look at today, you can start with a no code app builder. And if it's more content based, it's a great way to get going. I know one of the apps that we
Mhm.
just published, it is a motivation app that is just purely based off of like just quotes and simple swipes. And you're just cycling through a lot of quotes in there too. So really easy to just get that going and get it out there and really work on the interaction there. All right, Christina, I want to talk about probably the question that most people are thinking about. We're talking a lot about Bravo, but what makes you guys a little bit different from the other app builders?
So I've already covered some points. I would say design focus is our biggest thing because for me as a product designer, uh, if looking at, I would say I'm thinking about website builders, looking at, or even someone who's not even professionally a designer, but just has a design bone and they just want the app to look exactly as they imagine it, whether it's branding or whether it's because of the user experience. Uh, this is the builder for you. So like for me, it's if I see templates or drag and drop, I won't use it. I want something completely flexible. And then I would say, so on the term of flexibility, I also mentioned that. So Bravo is especially convenient for people since you can really plug into a wide variety of APIs. If you already have a backend, you can plug that in already and then create a mobile app based off of whatever platform or website that you're already using for your business or for your personal projects. And then the last bit, I guess I've already covered the uniqueness. Then I was going to say the last bit is the native app. You can see that I've been adjusting my AirPods the whole time. My right AirPods just doesn't like to stay in my ear compared to my left AirPod. And there we go, it's trying to escape. So again, native. So some no-code app builders, they create web apps. Others create native apps. So it's and then, but in the end, some would say like native is better than web-based web apps because of more better performance. You can tell from this from the general user experience, there's better performance, and there's again more device capabilities. But in the end, it's really up to your own requirement, your own project requirement. Maybe in the end, a web app is what you need, and then for others, they need native functionalities.
Yeah. You know what I always say, if you're always going to check out a new thing, like the best way to start building an app, and this is if you're actually going to code it, find some templates. If you're trying to use a no-code app builder like Bravo, look at the UI kits, make it easy on yourself to be like, what have they provided for you so that you can just get started in your idea. And one of the thing that I did, I made a flashcard kids app like ABCs, Christina, back in the day. And I used a photo gallery template and I just modified it. So if you tap up here, you'd have a sound, and I just modified it. And that's the easiest way to get started when you're thinking about either using a no-code app builder like this or just developing on your own. Just think about, they give you a lot of resources. And so utilize those resources and try to build a simpler app of your app idea and then get off and running too.
Mm-hmm. And then I would say another resource that you can leverage is our community. I know a lot of people are sort of hesitant towards like, oh, another forum that you join. But I would say like no code app building is almost like a club. So people who are in the community, they're really active and they really are there to help and talk about ideas and talk about how you can combine this functionality with this functionality to make this and all of that.
Yeah.
So that's also something that you can just scroll through, see what the conversations are like. Maybe someone already has a similar idea as you, and it's solved now. Like, aha, this is how you build.
Yes. Yeah. I love community. We have a community of our own, and I absolutely love it. It's where we trade a lot of different ideas too. Christina, you ready to look at some audience apps?
Yes.
Okay, but before we do, time for some dad jokes. All right. So we'll play a game. And the audience, I know I always ask for this. So just put S if you think I won that round, and put C if you think Christina won that round. Christina, you want to go first? You want to go first?
Oh, I'm wondering if am I able to see the S or the C because I'm in the stream link. Well,
if you go in the comments, they'll put it in there. But if you go in the normal comments,
I see.
private
Okay.
comments just for us.
Okay.
But yeah, you'll figure out the winner.
Now I understand when I'm seeing past videos and looked at the comments, and I would see why, or like some letters over and over again.
Yeah. So you want to go first or you want me to go first?
You go first. I want to
I'll go first.
What the competition is like.
Yes, there's advantages going second. All right, here you go, guys. I was going to tell a time travel joke. Christina, I was going to tell you a time travel joke, but you guys didn't like it. All right, that's mine. All right, Christina, what's yours?
Oh, I have the classics. I think I have the ones that everyone has heard of. Okay. What do you call it when Batman skips church?
What do you call it when Batman skips church? No idea.
Christian Bale.
Like, there it is. Hit it. Hit the sound effects. I had to add the sound effects. All right, let's take a look at. So just see if you like Christian Bale or the time travel joke for S, and we will get into our first app audit, and then we've got. So guys, if you guys want us to take a look at your apps, all you got to do is super simple, appmasters.com/audit, appmasters.com/audit. And I wanted to kind of put in
Looks like I'm
simpler
winning
apps.
so far, by the way.
I know. I always start off a little bit weaker. All right. So we've got Carmel. Carmel says, hey, he wants user experience, UI, any advice really for this app. And I wanted to pick out apps that I thought, could be built with a no-code app builder as well. And so that's why we took a look at this app. All right, so it looks pretty simple. Spoiler talk, shows, movies, books. I guess we can talk with the community, your go-to app to discuss. I like that. I watch a lot of reality TV shows, Christina, and I listen to the podcasts of those reality TV shows, Survivor being a huge fan of that. So this app speaks to me, but let's take a look at the app itself. I think if I were to say anything from a growth perspective, feel free to jump in anytime, Christina. From the growth perspective, you might want to go after different shows too, Carnell, because I found that like Big Brother, Survivor might be a difficult one, but Big Brother, maybe even The Circle, all these reality shows that I watch, but whatever the more popular reality shows or TV shows, they tend to have pretty decent traffic and lower competition. And so like Cobra Kai, for instance, I know has pretty decent traffic, but lower competition. So think about those type of keywords that you might be able to optimize for rather than just saying TV shows, podcasts. Podcast definitely is a very competitive keyword. And then the tip that I always like to give in the Spanish Mexico localization here, you want to put different keywords. This is where I might put Survivor, Big Brother, some of the more popular keywords. Then I can hide it because the Spanish Mexico localization is indexed by the US App Store. So if you hide these keywords in there, maybe you don't want them visible in the US, but you can still leverage that Spanish Mexico localization to drive traffic and get rankings for those particular keywords that I just mentioned. All right, I'll shut up now. Anything you want to add, Christina?
I was going to say those are very good, good advice. I was thinking that our app users, or our app users, are users who are looking to build apps. A lot of them don't think about. Again, I want to use the word ecosystem, but it's more, I guess, the entire process of building an app. And like advice like that are, things that they need to think about. Like, okay, once you have your app, how do you bring it out into the world so you can validate the idea? So these things are very much crucial, almost like equally crucial as how do you build the app? What is the app?
Yeah, totally. All right, Cornell, let's take a look at your app and give you that UI UX. I mean, I don't like that green. It feels very like 1998 time frame, but all right, we'll go through it. So one of the things I always recommend to Christina, like don't let me dominate this, so jump in anytime, but is have a few reminders of what this app is all about. Like for you,
intro
Cornell,
pages.
Show a few screens like you kind of do here. And then I'm always thinking about when I see apps like this, I'm always thinking about like who's actually in there. So, talk about like, do you have a vibrant community? If you don't, and you just getting started, then think about like just talking about the different shows that are popular. That would be the social proof. Hey, come talk about these particular shows. So, okay, I can do Apple. That's cool. Do you guys have any login capabilities with Apple and all that stuff within Bravo?
Right now we have email and password with Firebase, but we are releasing very soon OAuth too. And for people who who are not familiar with the term, it's basically, it's social login with Google, with Facebook, with Strava, with whatever you want to connect to your app.
I'm glad you said that, because I would ask. I would be like, what the heck is on? I should probably know that. Okay, the cheek. So I like this UI. It's pretty good. So I
Mhm.
don't like the green
Uh,
on gray, but now I like this
I
one.
think the green of the entire branding should be a bit rethought. It's
Yeah,
not an inviting green.
yeah, yeah. And then Rams is giving feedback too. This is what I like about this. Show something without needing to log in, sign in, log in, screen share
Yes,
users. You don't need
that's very
to
true.
log in. Okay.
Mm,
Only when I want to comment because maybe I just want to consume in there.
mhm.
So, 2 out of 10. Any
Yeah,
TV shows?
something I notice here is and the home screen, what they do is like I see their approach of almost imitating, like what you're familiar with Netflix, for example. So
Mm,
I would see this being a very good user experience if, people who are already familiar using the Netflix app, and then they come to this app and they have similar user experience, and then they can easily find the show that they're looking for to talk about. So they
yeah.
go to Netflix to watch a show, and then they go to this app to talk about the show.
Okay. I think this might be feels a little bit dated. We just watched Shang-Chi and I was like, where the heck is that movie? But all right, Candyman. If I'm here to discuss, this does feel like I'm locked. I'm in Candyman now. What am I supposed to do?
Mhm.
Just hit plus. So like I'm assuming because you were saying like come discuss, come look
Yeah,
at it, maybe some comments down below. Granted, I know there's no comments, so maybe I can try to find one with more comments. But
and you can't press if you press on it, nothing happens when you were in
yeah,
the Candyman.
so I don't know if this is trying to just be like, hey, here, come find something to watch or come discuss. It looks like there's just plus, 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 but not a lot of commenting going on.
Um, how do you add a comment?
Let's try. Oh, let's see. Comment, comment. Oh, you can see.
Aha.
There you go. Let me find a movie.
So I guess these are just right now they haven't built a user community yet,
Yeah, that's
which can also ward off a lot of people from interacting with the app.
so. This is like an app where I don't know how much they spent, but like this definitely is a candidate for a no-code app builder because I
Hmm.
think it is something that you could get costly given all the data and sign up comments that you're doing and you want to test just to make sure. I think also I would try to stay as niche as possible so that if it's like just movies, just reality TV,
Yeah.
just books versus trying to do too much too often. Because
Hmm.
look, don't forget, Amazon started with just books, Facebook started just Harvard. Like, come on, like they started very slow. Make sure that people are actually discussing because the worst thing in this app is coming to an app like this that is more of a discussion and not having any discussion whatsoever. So you want to
Yeah.
just stay as targeted as possible.
Completely agree. And this app being a very good example of a lot of business ideas.
Yeah.
They say like, oh, this can be applied to everything, but you
Yeah.
really should, even if it does apply to everything, like this app, it should start off with just horror movie fans to
Yeah.
talk about horror movies, and then and then you build and then yeah, with I'm just gonna put in the no code app builder pitch, and then you know put something together really quickly with a no code app builder.
Yep.
Send it out to some horror movie fan forums, and you get people using it, and then you can build it up that way.
Yeah. Completely agree. Christina, looks like, yeah, you're right. It was clean sweeps. Joe, Patrick, Cardo, another Patrick, Alex, Adrian. Thank you guys for voting. Thank you guys for not voting for me. I appreciate that so much. All
Maybe
right.
we have Batman fans in the house.
No, it's a much better joke. Ollie says, hey, great video again. Thank you, Ollie. Uh, Timmy Topi. All right. Sorry. Ti. I'll call you Ti. I think it is. But how do you create custom conditional state walkthrough? Not sure I
Uh,
understand exactly what he means, but do you have an understanding what he might mean?
Custom conditional state walkthrough. I think this might need a bit more explanation. Also,
Let
if
me
it applies to Bravo or if it applies to NoCo app builders.
let me try this.
I
So I think what
can, yeah.
go. No, you go for it.
I
You're the
was
guest.
just going to say that again, like if it's again NoCo app builders, there's just so many approaches of building, whether it's conditionals or whether it's custom states or whether it's walkthrough.
Yeah. So I think it is just what Patrick said right now in the comments, if statement sort of thing. So that's what I was assuming too. Like if I said, if like I know Calm does this, why did you download Calm? Is it to reduce anxiety, feel better, feel happier? So if I'm saying feel happier, then I might show a different screen. So TI is just more of like being able to if then else type of thing and then having a default in there. And you can do that with a no code app builder like Bravo. You can do that within your code. It's a simple if then else statement that you can do. Rudy,
And then
what's
for
happening, man?
Bravo,
Sorry, go.
oh, I was just gonna add that, and with Bravo, it also really depends on the backend that you're plugging in into the app. So a lot of the functionalities, we have integrations, but then also a lot of the functionality is what you plug into the backend, what the backend is capable of.
Yeah. All right. Rudy, how's it going? Good to see you, man. All right. The next thing I want to go into, Christina, is can you show off some of the things that you've been talking about with Bravo? You want to share your screen?
What I will show off is just something I would say quite basics because I think what a lot of people also think about with no-code app building is that it's also something that's very quick and you don't need to have a lot of learning curve to and then some you can throw together and build a native app out of thin air. But no code is still it's a topic that I would say still needs some mastery in order to build the complexity that you want. So I'm going to show you, which would be something really quick, is something that is, I would say something that you do at the beginning of learning how to use Bravo, which is to connect data, dynamic data, to your app design.
That's awesome. Cool. That, it's one of those things where I wanted to show off that too. It's like, hey, if you want to build like a simple motivation app, simple app that where people input data and you then pull that data, that'd be great too. Look at to-do list.
Okay. Yep. So I will share my screen. Let's see. I think I need to do a very quick swipe. There we go. Do you see Figma?
Yes.
Okay. So quick intro. So this is my design file in Figma, just a few app screens. And like I said before, it's literally all free-form design, which is something that is very lovely for design-focused people. And this is my backend, quote unquote. So this is my database with a bunch of sample data that I want to connect to my design. So this, which is like let's say an adventure app, seek your own adventure, plus this will equal a native app in Bravo. So how that works is I take this Figma URL, I go to this is Bravo Studio. I'm doing everything quick to show you. And then in the meantime, let me show you. So what this is doing right now is it's transforming your design file layers, also works with Adobe XD, into native components. So right now, I can request a publication file to publish in the App Store and Google Play, but it wouldn't make sense. It's very shallow and I'll probably get rejected anyways. but you can't actually, let's say you can request a debug APK, which is the Android file that you can install on your phone directly. And you can also give it to other people to install on their phone. So this is great for user testing. Or for iOS, you can download this file and then put it on TestFlight, which is the channel that Apple has for user testing before you publish your app. So we have this. And what I will show you here is my phone connected to Bravo Vision, which is our previewer app. And what Bravo Vision does is that it's complementary to Bravo Studio. you preview how your native app looks and works as you build. So right now you can see I'm clicking on things and it's exactly what it looks like on my Figma file.
Oh,
and
wow.
then so what I'm going to do now is plug this data into here. So in our data collection, this is where we connect API requests to your selected backend. And here I've already created 2 GET requests, which are API requests that retrieves data from the database, the data source. And so now, like, let's say Bravo has this data, and then I'm going to plug this data into my app. So I won't go through the setup, but basically it's set up and I have the data.
How do you get that URL? Is that where
So
the Airtable URL? Is that just through Airtable? Is that pretty easy to find?
yeah, I would say it depends on the API documentation of each database or backend that you're using. So Airtable is something that we often recommend people who are new to APIs or REST API to start with to get the practice and the hang of it, because Airtable has a great API documentation that is very legible and understandable for beginners.
I see.
So you just go to their API documentation, and then even like this might look intimidating for someone who, someone might see this for the first time and they say, this is code. But in the end, you just look for, the same thing in every single API, and eventually you get familiar with it, and then you can work on other APIs. Even like, for example, this is the request that I copy and paste. This is the authorization that I copy and paste to allow Bravo to access my Airtable. So that is how I get the GET request. And of course, there's many different types. There's a few different types of REST API requests that interacts with the data source or the backend in different ways.
So you're pulling each column in a way, right? Is that right? Places, detail,
Yeah.
and then places, lists.
So this one, I will show you now as I connect the data into the screen. So this is what I will connect to this page, which will populate the lists that I have in the Airtable into this page. And then the detail is so that when I click on the section in the list page, it shows the corresponding detail of that one row.
Got it.
And then, so let me go back to the project. And here I go into data binding, which is binding the backend to the front end.
Yeah.
And you connect. So here I go to my collection, I select my request. So this is to connect the entire database, the entire record. And then you just go on connecting. I'm going to do just a few activity name. I think there's places, price I don't have. So let's say
so
I've
you're just
connected
matching
these.
up all the things too.
You're just matching, yeah. And this is a super straightforward aspect of Bravo. You just, in the end, you're just matching the layer with the data, the corresponding data. And now you see that I gave my preview a refresh, and now it's pulling in all the entire table.
I like that there's a little search
like
feature too.
Yeah.
Up top.
So in the search, Bravo has, for example, if I want to do Europe, so it's showing me Europe results.
Wow. Cool.
And then, so Bravo has a simple search and filter functionality that searches through the text of the page you're on. But there's also, like I said, depending on the backend that you choose, you can connect global search that searches through the entire app, or searches even through the entire database that the app might not be showing. So it really depends on the complexity that you want to get into. And then,
Joe's impressed. Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Can I interrupt you for a question, Christina?
Yeah.
Okay. Joe's impressed. So Joe's a good designer. I love his design feedback on that. Patrick says, can we do any processing on that data coming from the API? if the API doesn't present the data exactly as we want?
I would say the processing, we recommend that it's handled by the API, handled by the backend, and then the API sends through exactly what you want to display in Bravo.
Got it. Got it.
So really quick, the next thing and the last thing I'll show is the other requests. So basically, if I click on any of these boxes right now, it shows my Figma design, like all of these placeholders, right? So then I just go back into the other screen and then do the same thing, connect. So for example, here I connect, but in this case, I connect to the detail request.
Mm-hmm.
So I want the image, I want the location, and these names are exactly how I've named them here in Figma, right? So that's how I'm able to know. And then this one is the activity name. And let's see, do we have description? Description. And I go to the previewer, update again. And now what it should give me is, if I click on Tobermory, which is a place in Canada, now it shows the description and or all the data of this related data record.
Really cool. I like that.
And I click on Dolomiti, yeah. And there's so many things, so much more you can do. Like right now, I'm showing you something that I can do in 5-10 minutes.
Yeah.
But like I said, once you really master and you get to know the platform and you understand the different aspects of what you can customize, there are so many things you can do. So for example, like right now, when I click on this is from a design perspective, when I click on any of these boxes, you see this generic loading page. I don't know if I loading animation.
Yeah.
You can customize that.
Cool.
And then if I go to, book now, right now it's not connected to anything, but I can open the phone with the number already ready to call. I can open an email draft with the email ready to be sent to. You can connect it to a native form page. And then, so book now can go to, the next step where you fill in a form to register, whatever you want your user journey to be.
I like it. Hey, Christina, one last question for me on this platform. Yeah. Can we do any type of in-app purchases, subscriptions through Bravo?
Right now, we can do one-time app payments. So not yet in-app subscriptions or in-app purchases, but we are, of course, listening to our users, and we are hearing a lot of needs for this, requests for this. So, but so far right now, if you do want to do if you want to do in-app purchases in terms of e-commerce, you can, in the end, you can embed a web view of the checkout page. Or if you want to do one-time purchases, we do have the native Stripe integration. So one-time purchase is like, send a $10 donation to a charity, like these one-time things. Or maybe if you're a very niche, if you're selling a very niche service or a very niche product and you only have like 3 things to choose from, you can also do that. Or if you want to earn money off of your app, your actual app, then you can put a price on it at the download, like putting a price in the App Store to like 99-cent download.
All right. Anything else to share here?
No. Okay. Let me stop sharing my screen.
All right, Christina, I'm trying to redeem myself. We're going to the final round of the dad jokes. If I lose this one, obviously I will owe you a drink. That's what we normally pay for. So whatever drink you want is on me. And then we're going to take a look at the last app, and it's almost 10 o'clock our time. So you want to go first this time, or you want me to go first again?
I can go first.
All right. You're like, I'm going to throw this guy a bone. He needs it. He needs to win. You shut me out last time. All right. Give us a dad joke.
Okay. How many tickles does it take to make an octopus laugh?
How many?
10 tickles.
It took me a minute. I like it. Okay. Oh, man, you're stiff competition. All right, here we go. Let's try it one more time. I have a
I
feeling
did my
I'm
research.
gonna get shut out again. Christina, in the UK, it's called a lift. Here in the US, it's called an elevator. I guess we're just raised differently. All right. All right, we'll take a look at this last app. And unfortunately, I couldn't get it into my phone because I have to, it's only available in India, I believe. But let me make sure I add this to the stream. Cool. Shashwat, I think his name. Shashwat UX UI features or UX UI. Unfortunately, I can't do that. Features that can be added, potential monetization. I think we can help with more of the monetization stuff because this looks like it's database, track warranties of all your home devices at your fingertips. You may have more warranties. So anytime you I need to do this. Anytime I would buy a new appliance or anything, I want to connect it, make sure it's under warranty if it does break down. So it seems like an interesting way to do this. Any feedback from like a monetization features perspective, Christina, that you can think about without us being able to look at the app itself?
Well, this is a very good app idea.
Yeah.
See, I see like all of these app ideas, these apps, they have very good ideas.
Right.
Like their ideas, if you tell me, I was like, yeah, for sure. I totally need that in my life. But then it comes down to the app, the usability itself. Um, in terms of that, I was just I was literally just thinking I really need that in my life, rather than thinking of where did I put that piece of warranty
Right.
paper from that box of the laundry machine that I bought 5 years ago.
Right. Totally. Yeah, I think for me, from a monetization standpoint, because your app is probably going to be used maybe once or twice, let's say even a few years, right? Like we might not ever use this app. That's something that you have to figure out how to get people engaged in your app versus just like I bought it, I added it, and then I never look at your app again. I think from a monetization standpoint, what I would be thinking about is there a way to interact with repairs or parts or link out and become an affiliate for these services? So that's what I would be thinking about if I were you. I just think for an app like this, the biggest hurdle for you, Shashwat, is just getting people to use your app a little bit more, maybe at least once a year, right? Because we don't buy many appliances. So is it, electronics, other things that you can think about, and maybe even like how to fix different things too. So that's what I would be trying to explore. But I think it's a good idea. It's just how often am I going to use it? And how do you keep your users fully engaged and coming back? Because that's going to really help drive your monetization. So they might just only use it when things break. Then you have a really great capability of either getting them to repair, connecting them with the manufacturer, all that stuff. Those are all the things I would be thinking about.
Yeah, I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
It's more, yeah, like you said, it's you have the warranty list as the main idea, the main focus of the app. But then all the other related functionalities, you can definitely do more with that. You can create a whole marketplace with this idea.
Yeah, I like it. Christina, looks like you won again. And people are apologizing. Dang. Ricardo, it's all good. Joe, it's all good. You guys don't have to apologize. I knew going in I was probably going to lose. Christina, anything we missed that you want to make sure we cover?
Hmm. I feel like we covered a lot of
Yeah.
things.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, guys, the website, if you guys want to check out
hmm
a no-code app builder, Bravo is the one that we've been
Yeah.
talking about all about today. Christina showed off some of the cool features, really interact with the data. If you want to start building the MVP, they're building out new features. So if you want to start taking payments, you'll eventually be able to do that. If you just want to build that MVP, you don't want to pay tens of thousands of dollars to hire a developer, and you have that design chops to put things into Figma, in Adobe XD, go check out bravostudio.app. Here's some of their pricing. You get started for absolutely free. You can pay a little bit for a few more features, but it is bravostudio.app is the website and the tool. Christina, if the audience wants to connect with you in any other way, do you want to send them anywhere else?
I would say in terms of Bravo Studio, just keep up with our social media. We're very active on Twitter and responsive. On Twitter, Instagram, we have videos releasing every week on YouTube. And
That's awesome.
actually, speaking of the getting people started. In a couple of weeks, we will be doing a product launch, launching a lot of new advanced features that a lot of our users have been requesting. And with that, we'll also do a promotion of a longer trial period where you can test out these advanced features. So look out for that. If
Nice.
Bravo is interesting to you, you want to poke around, then and maybe I would say just wait for that and then get like a longer trial and see if it catches your attention.
So make sure you're on Product Hunt next week and look for that Bravo Product Hunt.
Yes.
Yeah, I love it. Guys, next week, it's going to be a solo episode. I was trying to find some guests, but it's going to be solo. So I'm going to dive into some of the monetization tricks that we've been able to uncover. If you guys have been following the YouTube stuff, we've been trying to do more which tests want type of thing. So we'll cover a few of those things within next week. And obviously with It's Just Me, we'll take a lot more look at some of your apps out there too. And then if you're not subscribed to that podcast, this video does come out in podcast form. So make sure you do that, because next Tuesday, we've got a great episode with Seth Miller, who built Rap Chat. It's a great episode about product market fit. They've got millions, I think it's tens of millions of users on their platform. It is a create a rap song type of platform that they built. So really great insights on product market fit, which is huge for monetization. So make sure you subscribe to the podcast at masters.com/iTunes or your favorite podcast app. Christina, thank you so much for coming on and doing this.
Thanks for having me. My left AirPod is still trying to escape.
Thank you guys for watching week in and week out, and I will see you next week. Have a great weekend. Bye.